Hey ladies and gentlemen, Adrian here for Digital Dojos, and today we're talking all and everything that is the iPhone 12 event from Apple today. The big news in the tech world. It always is anytime a company like Apple does a flagship phone release. This time we had the virtual event, as it is the year that is 2020. So let's talk about those four iPhones that they announced, from the 12 mini, the 12, the 12 Pro, and the 12 Pro Max. These models are getting crazy at this point. But before we do that, I do want to acknowledge the first product announcement they made technically was that of the HomePod Mini. This is their compact version of Apple's HomePod, their smart speaker that they released a couple years ago. This is meant to compete with the likes of Amazon, Google, Facebook even in their smart speaker ecosystem. And Apple's HomePod is powered by that of their smart assistant, Siri. So the focus here is an all-new design and compact design powered by this new U1 chip, all powered through Siri. I will say design-wise, I can't unsee it. It reminds me too much of the wrapping you see fruits in the supermarket. And yeah. Anyways, moving along. This is a compact design. It's going to use things like computational audio to determine the space it's in and provide a better listening experience in terms of music and speakers. It's going to allow you to integrate with the ecosystem that is Apple and the HomePods. You can do studio pairing with other ones. You can integrate it with HomeKit, control your lights, control your garage door and your whole smart home. And then at the end of the day, you can also do things like intercom, which will allow you to talk to other HomePods within the household, like a walkie-talkie. But that said, this is nothing new. We've seen this with Amazon's line of products. We've seen this with Google's line of products. This is just Apple adding their own spin and their own product line to it, with the hopes that it's more integrated and it's more obviously directly tied into their ecosystem. Your iPhone, when you walk near it, will recognize that you're near it in proximity and allow you to simply move and play music off of it. It'll ask you if you want to play music. You control it through Siri. You're going to have the HomeKit integration. It's Apple bringing you into their ecosystem, and that's really reflected in its price at $99, set to release November 6th. It's the first time we've seen a new product from Apple not have that huge Apple tax. I mean, the Apple Magic Trackpad is more than this smart speaker. And I think it's a strategic move from Apple to really get people in the door here. Think of how Amazon did this with their Echo Dot when they were really pushing Alexa into the line of products out there for everyone. And it was successful for them. It worked out. That easy to buy price point, that entry level way at under $100, where most people may not go out there and buy a HomePod when it first came out. This HomePod Mini may be something that's compelling, and it's coming right out before the holidays. So we'll see how that goes. Now, with that, let's move into the four line of iPhone 12s that they announced. All of these phones, by the way, being powered by the all-new 5G network and packing that technology inside. So you're going to get the 5G antennas, the support for the 5G cellular network. And this is something that's great from a technological perspective. 5G is the way of the future. It's going to be better, faster, more secure in terms of data transfer. You're going to get those crazy speeds eventually, right? This is a rollout thing. This isn't something that happens overnight or day one of the product release. It's going to depend on where you are. It's going to depend on your coverage, your carrier. There's a lot of factors here, but at the end of the day, it's better to have it in your new flagship phone than to not have it, right? That helps kind of future-proof you as 5G gets better and better. Now, the first two products that were announced were the 12 mini and the 12, starting at $700 and $800. The 12 mini is the 5.4-inch variant. This is the small form factor for those who really don't want that 6-inch screen and really love that like sub 5-inch form factor for their phones. And it's Apple's first time really catering to options. While we've seen them do this in recent years, no longer is it just one flagship phone or two flagship phones. Now you're getting four flagship phones to really speak to their consumer base. So the Mini is going to be that. It's the 5.4 inch. It's powered by the A14 Bionic chips like the rest of the iPhone 12s in the lineup. It's thinner, in this case much smaller, and lighter than the previous iPhone 11. With that A14 Bionic chip, you're going to get overall faster performance. Like that goes without saying. It's going to be faster. I can throw numbers at you and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, it just relates to how you actually have it in your hand and how your apps work and your day-to-day functionality. It's going to be faster with this A14 Bionic chip. The iPhone 12, however, comes in at a standard 6.1-inch size. And in terms of design, new phone, old, refined design. You're tossing it back to the flat edges that of like things like the iPhone 4S, for example, one of my favorite form factors in design, and mixing it with the modern, sleek look of like the iPad Pros that they have going on here. So with that, you're also getting a couple new additions into that and refinement of a design, which is very non-common or non-Apple like to see them revert back to a design and feel and look. But you're going to get the new ceramic shielding and coating with the new iPhone 12. This means a much more durable screen. This isn't technically glass, but ceramic material to really offer, a more scratch-proof, scratch-resistant, and overall shatter-proof screen. I say shatter-proof, but you're going to break it. Somebody out there is going to break it. Obviously, under any circumstances, you can take a super durable screen and break it. This just hopefully makes it that much more harder to do so. Outside of that, you are also getting a better display, Super Retina XDR. That means 2 times the pixels that you got on the iPhone 11 at a 460 pixel per inch. So you're getting a crisper, nice, higher quality screen overall in the 12 mini or 12. And the cameras. You're getting the dual camera system here. And while they're still both 12 megapixel cameras, you're getting the f1.6 aperture. You're going to get overall better camera performance behind the technology that's actually within the camera. So don't let that 12 megapixel number kind of fool you there. Now, with that said, where you're really seeing the true bump in specs in terms of camera, it's going to be in the Pro line. And that reflects in the price point. The Pros are going to start at $1,000, and the Pro Max is going to start at a baseline of $1,100 essentially. So the gap there is you're looking at a $400 gap from the Mini to the Pro Max. And what that gets you is obviously bigger screens in the Pro lineup, 6.1 inch or 6.7 inch in the Max lineup. So again, similar to that of the iPhone 11 and Max series. You're getting bigger screens. You're getting bigger screens also in the sense that they reduce the bezels on the iPhone 12 line, so slightly more surface area. You're getting the triple camera system in the Pro line, so the ultra wide, telephoto, and wide, again, similar to the last generation of iPhones. And you're getting things like the LiDAR sensor, which is going to improve depth mapping. Essentially what this means is you're going to get better AR and better low light focus out of your camera since it has depth mapping. It's going to result in better photos. This is all you need to know about, basically, in multiple conditions and environments. Now, furthermore, you're getting other technology like the Pro Max is going to get better optical image stabilization, and you have support for technology and just sensors. For example, the hardware, 47% larger sensors in the cameras on the Pro line. So you're just allowing so much more possibilities and better shots and performance from your cameras. And then the technology behind it. So Apple Pro RAW is a format that they're touting and pushing, which is essentially going to be the equivalent on DSLRs of shooting in RAW. If you don't know what that means, essentially, it's like taking the base image. What you see is what you get, an unedited, unfiltered, unrefined, or untouched image, literally just the raw image. And then in post, you can choose to edit, adjust saturation, adjust all the bits and bobs when it comes to the photo. That way, there's more possibility in how you tweak it and how you want the photo to look at the end of the day. And that's the concept here with Apple Pro RAW. Whether or not this is going to be, translate to that in actuality on the phone, we'll have to see. The other big technology that they're touting is the 10-bit HDR support on the Pro lineup. So we're getting 10-bit, not just traditional HDR, but Dolby Vision recording capabilities on the new iPhone 12 Pro lines. This is the first ever camera to support this technology, which is not something very common of Apple. I rarely get to say like they're the first to do something. I've always said they're like not the first, but they try to be the best at doing something. In this case, they're the first ones to support Dolby Vision. And in this case, it's just that much better 4K 60 FPS video content. You're just getting overall better video content, better colors, tone mapping, all these things. And with that, it's cinematic level quality. But even saying that, like, not just Apple, but a lot of flagship phones in the last couple of years have had cinematic level, like video recording, movie level quality. And it's just crazy to see that they continue to pack technologies like this in their newer phones. To me, like from a technological perspective, it still blows my mind. So you're getting all those bells and whistles now in these Pro lineups, and you're paying for it at the $1,000 plus price point. Outside of that, the materials in itself in this Pro line, it's featuring in its design stainless steel material and improved glass. This is the first time we're seeing that in like the Pro lineup. It's actually getting different materials in its 12 and 12 mini variant. So you are paying for that as well. So you're getting actual better, more durable, and I'd argue even better looking materials with the stainless steel, especially that one in gold. Looks super sleek and kind of just screams. It's that flagship way to show that you have the Pro line in a sense, other than it just being the bigger phone. Now, that wraps up the phones. And with that, you got a lot of new accessories. You also got some cool kind of add-ons with the support for the new Magsafe Charging. Because they are slowly going away, and we saw this here from the environmental perspective, they reduce their packaging. They take out the charger bricks now. You do not get a charger brick now with your iPhone. I don't think you get the headphones anymore, because nowadays, if you're probably buying a new iPhone, you probably have some variant of those from a past phone or whatnot. So with that, it allows them to save more space. It allows them to help the environment, which is always a great thing, and be more green. But the big thing here with the push for this Magsafe charging, which Magsafe revolutionized laptop charging, and I hated how they took it away from the USB-C laptops. It's cool to see it in the iPhone here. I would have wanted to see USB-C more, arguably, and that's something that I think could have been great to see. But I think the whole Magsafe and the wireless charging is just Apple's way of slowly easing us into eventually a phone that doesn't require like a physical wire to charge at all. And it'll all be done in some form, either wirelessly or through this Magsafe technology. So there's some accessories and cases you can buy now with these new phones. And I think that's just from the cool perspective, it's the fun feature I think that they added to these line of products. In terms of what's missing, like I said, USB-C, still not there. ProMotion or high refresh rate, we're still not seeing that. The fingerprint Touch ID reader that we saw on the iPad, the newest iPad lineup, not seeing that. And it's surprising. It's surprising to me to see Apple really integrate a lot of this stuff early on in the iPad, like the LiDAR sensor, like that fingerprint Touch ID on the power button, and not see them even kind of make steps here on the iPhone. Maybe they'll be down the road. But with all this said, arguably I'll say that the 12 and the 12 mini, unless you have a direct upgrade path, aren't compelling reasons right now enough for iPhone 11 users to upgrade. I don't think 5G is enough of a reason to make people jump to the next generation of phones. The improved design, the slightly refined design, it's nice. 5G is nice. The better cameras are nice, but I don't think it's a huge enough reason for people, the common consumers, to jump. Even for somebody like me who will probably be picking up the 12 Pro Max and that stainless steel gold, that I'm a different level of consumer in the sense that I review consumer products, but at the same time I'm an enthusiast. I'm somebody who's an early adopter and willing to pay for that in my smartphone, where the vast majority doesn't need to drop $1,000+ on a phone, and I would argue doesn't need to, right? Even with all those improved camera features and functions, your iPhone 11 is still a solid phone at the end of the day, especially with the latest release of iOS 14. So that's my perspective there. Their new lineup still features the XDR, the SE, the iPhone 11, and it's Apple again offering options. Not everybody's going to spend $500+ on a smartphone. It's offering people options on the opposite spectrum at the end. And then the mid-tier with the iPhone 11 still being there, it's a way for Apple to say, if you are going from any phone that's older than the iPhone 11, you look at the iPhone 11 and you think, oh, it's only $100 more to get the iPhone 12. I might as well get the iPhone 12, right? And that's a tactic in itself that they do, I think. So if you're on the iPhone 11, I think you can hold out. I think you don't need to upgrade here unless you're going from an iPhone 11 and you want to go into the Pro line of products at the high end. That can be a reason, I guess. But outside of that, and if you're not an early adopter, tech enthusiast or whatnot, there's not a huge compelling reason to upgrade at the end of the day. That's just my 2 cents. Again, we're going to give this time. Once those phones come in, we're going to be reviewing them, we're going to be covering them, and we'll see how they perform in real life, performance and tests. Love to hear what you guys think about the lineup. What is your favorite of the 4 phones? What is something that you would go with if you're going to upgrade at all? Maybe it's going to be on the Android or Samsung side and those flagship phones. Let me know in the comments down below. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, subscribe for more content to come on this channel and those future reviews. And as always, again, thanks for watching.